All right, so it finally happened. I crashed the bike. As you can see, the front protector did its job, but also snapped way too easily. There's a big chunk of it missing right here. I ordered a new one. At least the headlight's fine. There's a bunch of scratches here. This had come out, but I put it back in. This crash guard did its job. The bash plate did its job. A couple of scratches here on the front. But the back didn't do too well. As you can tell, the entire back is missing. And that's because it's over here. Essentially what happened is this main bracket that fits under here, along with everything else that it supports, just completely snapped up. It even bent this piece, as you can kind of see. It got bent 90 degrees up this way. So the entire tail just kind of went to shit. In terms of like actual damage, so other than this plastic bracket and the top piece being damaged, this bracket that mounts the tail light was bent in all kinds of ways. I ended up bending it back. This left blinker was out from here. The tail light, the license plate light is completely broken. The tail light got scratched up. It does work, but it did get scratched up. So, how am I gonna fix this? I knew that at some point I do need to get a tail tidy, which kind of replaces all of this. So, that's what I did. I bought a tail tidy from Altrider. So that's this big bracket, which comes with this additional bracket that replaces the stock tail light bracket. Essentially these two extra pieces here, or the length of this, give the whole structure a lot more support, so that this sort of thing doesn't happen where it just pulls out and breaks it, but rather when this is mounted on top, there's a lot more distribution of force. And I also got a new tail light that has the blinkers integrated into it. But first, let's take off this piece, the seat, so we can install the tail tidy. All right, in order to take off the black piece, it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, but because it's under the white pieces, I think the white pieces actually clip onto it. So I need to take off the white pieces as well. So yeah, it looks like those are just held in by this, and then the rest is clips. So let's get these off. Okay, side panels are off. They were held in by the two big guys. One screw at the back, one on top, and one of these plugs on the bottom, and then a bunch of the pins that kind of hook it into the rest of the plastics. Okay, now for this guy, it looks like we have this, and this, and it should be able to come up. Okay, and the black cover on the back is completely off. So, other than the rest of the tail that snapped off, the other thing that broke on this back piece, this edge here, as you can kind of see, actually broke completely because it bent back. This is actually a hole, but that's not much of a problem. The problem is on the back side. There used to be a little bracket right here that this guy from the stock thing would like clip in like this into. Now that doesn't exist anymore. To replace this piece, I believe from Yamaha it's $100 and something. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to drill 2 holes here on either side of where the bracket used to be. I'm going to run a zip tie through there. So on top we're going to see a flat zip tie, and on the bottom it will actually act as a bracket. And that should keep this thing from folding up. But that comes after. First, let's install the tail tidy. So the way the tail tidy system from Altrider works is this will install kind of sliding into here, giving it that extra support on the metal bracketry in there. And the actual tail tidy will simply bolt on to the 4 original bolt holes that were at the bottom, and bolting it to the bracket on top, so that now we have the tail light kind of mounting on here and everything else situating itself above that. So let's screw things in and see how that plays out. Alright, tail tidy installed. This is way more solid and way more tidy than what was there before. Now, I'm not gonna install the light right away. I need to figure out a little bit of wiring for the new light. And then probably order of operations is gonna be figure out the wiring, install the tail light, then figure out the black piece that goes on top, install that, and then the white pieces. For now, let's move some of the grommets from the old bracket and the rubber piece on this, so it's ready for further installation. Alright, just some temporary fitment with the old tail light. That looks pretty decent. This is actually a little more grippy for lifting the bike and stuff. This is solid. Now, a funny thing I just noticed is that this plate and the holes for it is more suited for US plates. Canadian ones don't fit, the holes don't line up. So I'll have to zip tie my plate to it, which, whatever, that's even more secure if anything. Yeah, since I'm not doing the stock blinkers and I'm going to be using an integrated taillight, like this is actually how it's going to look like, except the taillight will be a little bit different. Okay, let's get this stuff off and start installing the aftermarket taillight. I also forgot to mention, much like I did on the bobber, the license plate light, I actually have 2 more of those bolt lights that I could mount on these 2 holes and then wire in to the harness using the same plug. So that will work out great. I was wondering if I still had them, but I just found them, so we'll have a lit up plate. I might just install these reflectors on here in some sort of way. Maybe just for more reflection, or maybe not. I'll see. Alright, and this is the new bracket. Just a zip tie, 2 holes. Looks pretty clean on this side. On the other side I still need to clip the zip tie, but that's essentially the bracket. And that slides onto this piece here. That's $100 right there. Alright, and here is the new tail light that we're going to be installing. So the old one kind of looks like this, and the new one has the blinkers integrated as part of it. So we're going to do away with these guys and not have to install them. In order to get this on the bike, the shape of it is the same more or less by the looks of it. The big difference is that we will have to put this bracket that I took off the old light onto it. And there's obviously more wires on this one that we'll need to figure out how to wire. It does come with instructions and some extra cables that look like they match the existing stuff, and some additional these cushions that we'll probably install here and here to support the whole thing. So let's get the bracket on there and fish the cables through, and then we'll figure out which one's which. Alright, tail light's installed. I still have the protective sticker on there. I'll take that last. I've wired it in. We'll still need to tuck away all this stuff, but let's see how it works. So that's pretty nice. And then brake looks like, so the top part lights up. And as for the blinkers, we have the left and the right. And actually, Well, both work as well. Okay, that's nice. Let's figure out how I'm gonna tuck away all these cables. I still need to figure out the license plate light, which we're gonna do these guys with. And I need to steal this connector in order to wire them in, because I believe that's the tail light. And we should be good from there. So let's figure out those, test again the electronics, and then start tucking away everything. Alright, so here are the tail light license plate lights, these two bolts right here. And the way they look when it's on, this is just temporarily wired. They'll light up things like this. So, meeting regulations. Okay, let's clean up all the wiring now and get things. Alright, wires are nicely tucked in. We have just a few on the bottom like this. Everything comes up nicely tucked, all the way zip tied, not going anywhere. Let's put the tail back on, the panels, and then the seat, and we're done. Alright, well, this is the bike fully assembled. The tail looks way better. And as a final touch, let's remove the little sticky. So now let's take a look how it looks. Oh yeah, that is way better. Now obviously the only downside is this little zip tie, but once I get an actual back rack, that should be covered up nicely. Perfect. Bike is ready for the road. I just need my plate. I also replaced the previously cracked headlight guard with another one of the same kind. It did do its job, so figured let's keep it. Okay. Alright guys, the bike has been repaired and it's ready for adventure again. In the next couple episodes, we're probably going to do some adventuring. Maybe some videos on some drills on how to improve skills for adventure riding and mainly off-road. So yeah, make sure to subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications when new videos become available, and check me out, check out balkan.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.